Okay, Tamek Skanatoni. We just entered the second lunar cycle of the winter, the second winter moon, which in Blackfoot is called Itochkanako Kotoi Niichtas, which means that this is when all the rivers freeze over. And like on cue, my neighborhood pond this morning is freezing over. The ice is not nearly thick enough for me to walk on or anything like that, but it will be soon. It's going in that direction, and a lot of things are changing. I see the geese. Right now I can hear a flock of geese up that way. You know, they're starting to congregate, and those that are going to head out are getting ready to head out. A lot of the insects and stuff that we had here in the first winter moon have either died off or they're dormant now. The ringbill gulls that have been here at the park with me every morning all summer, most of them have already gone. There's just a few stragglers that haven't left yet. My magpies, who are here year-round, are here now in greater numbers, more dependent on me. Still got a few crows. A lot of the smaller birds have already departed, long since departed. The larger birds, like the waterfowl and all that, like I said, they're getting together in huge flocks, some of them in the millions, and getting ready to head south. You know, all these things are changing. Pretty soon, like I said, the water's going to be covered over, and only those who are going to stay here for the winter are going to remain. We will get some animals from further north that come here for the winter, as if this is the more hospitable place to be. Any case, you know, whenever these things are happening, whenever there's like a new lunar cycle or a new solar cycle, or some big phenological event going on, you know, I kind of see it as an opportunity to respond in our own ways as humans to these changes going on. And there's lots of different ways to respond, sometimes quite directly. One of the things I was hoping to do as we started into the last winter moon, which would have been the first winter moon, Itotstoi, when the cold arrives, I was hoping to make some changes in my life. I've been making some poor decisions, I think. I'm making some good decisions too, but I'm kind of like balancing them all out with poor decisions so that I'm not really going anywhere, doing anything, not developing the way that I want to develop. Right now I got some health issues going on. I got, like, as I'm talking here, my breath is a little bit constricted. I feel like coughing. I get these kind of almost like asthma attacks. I've had a lot of stomach problems. I think the two are related. I think I've got an acid reflux thing going on that's down here that's then messing with my throat. And, you know, it has to do with the kind of things I'm allowing myself to ingest. And like I was saying, I hoped in the last lunar cycle to start making some real headway and change in those things. But hope is not enough. And I ended up not doing anything. Now I have another opportunity. Now we're at the gate of another lunar cycle, and it's an auspicious time for me to make some change again, to start on, you know, get back on the path that I want to be on. And so I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking back to this summer. I'm thinking about the lessons that I learned when I was climbing the mountain in Astako, and what that mountain taught me. You know, when you're looking at it, you got this great big mountain, and that mountain can be very overwhelming. A lot of people will look at that mountain, or they'll get to one of the rock faces, and they're just so intimidated and overwhelmed by the enormity of it and how difficult it is, that they turn around and they don't make it to the top. But the strategy that I've always used, and I always get to the top, is that I don't focus so much on the big picture, the big mountain. You know, it's there. That's there as the, you know, part of the goal in my mind is being at the top. I wouldn't have it any other way. But I'm always also very much in the moment, and I'm looking at, you know, what's my next step to take to give me a little bit higher? What's the next handhold or foothold that's going to take me to the next step, and so on. In that way, when you're looking at just what's your next decision to make, you don't get overwhelmed at the big picture. You just know the direction that you're going, and then you deal with whatever's the next obstacle in that direction. And if it's a big obstacle, you focus on the little parts, and you just go the next step, and eventually you're up there. This is what works, and I need to carry some of that lesson into my regular life. You know, I've been using this life as a journey kind of metaphor, thinking about, you know, where it is I want to be going, and there's not necessarily a destination point involved, but there's a trail, a path that I want to be following that's going to take me through some potentially, you know, really enjoyable experiences. And it's a long time trail. You know, there's an opportunity to be on the trail a long time, as compared to some people that are going to take another trail that's going to be very short. There's a longevity aspect involved, and there's a health aspect involved, and there's, you know, just general all around having the optimal kind of experiences that you can have, enjoying life. And so, you know, those are the kind of trails that I want to be on. I want to be on the trails that are going to take me through some exciting stuff, some really enjoyable stuff, some of the stuff that not everybody gets to see, because they're not willing to, you know, take the trail because they're too intimidated. And it's easier to take the other trails, the simple trails. But those simple trails don't take you past the really grandiose experiences, and they don't, and they're not as long. The problem with my trail is then it's the arduous trail. But if I'm looking at it like that, if I'm letting myself get overwhelmed by how arduous it is, then the chances are I'm going to keep doing what I'm kind of been doing, which is I'm at the trailhead, and I'll like walk up the trail a little bit and then come back down, walk up and come back down, and just kind of making little circles. I'm not really getting anywhere. And this is something that I want to change. I want to be getting somewhere. I want to be developing. And so in order to do that, I'm going to have to suck it up and do the one decision at a time thing, instead of looking at the big picture and getting overwhelmed. So I think part of what I'm going to do to help make this happen is I'm going to document it, because I think that when I'm documenting, like on the video and such, in whatever form I'm documenting, for some reason the documenting seems to help me, it seems to motivate me, and that kind of thing. So if that's what it takes, and that's what I should do, I should be documenting all the little decisions. And there's lots of little decisions to be made. You know, there's nutritional decisions to be made, there's healthful activity decisions to be made, there's kind of like psychological decisions to be made, or what kind of mind frame you want to be in. You know, there's all kinds of little decisions about what, you know, every day we have so many decisions to make. You know, even like I've met I've been inspired by this older karate guy who I've met on a couple of occasions, and he's about like 90 years old now, and in very good condition, still moving around and all of this, just great. And when asked about, you know, about his health and how he does it, he doesn't say that it's just the karate that does it for him. What he says is, don't lean on anything. When you're standing, you know, stand with balanced weight on your legs. Don't lean on this leg, don't lean on this leg. Don't hold yourself up by the wall, you know, don't lean your shoulder on anything. Don't slump back in your seat and lay back on your back, you know. Keep a good posture. It's really like, you know, just core balance kind of things. Stuff like that, little decisions that we can make all day long are gonna take us on the good trails, on the really exciting trails to good experiences that a lot of people don't get to have. And so it's all those little kind of decisions, you know. Okay, are you just gonna sit there, or are you gonna do something? So I'm gonna start documenting more of those decisions. You know, I can't say I'm gonna document all of them because you make decisions all day long, but I'm gonna start documenting a lot more of them to help keep myself focused on them, to help keep myself keep that intention in mind. Not that I'm climbing a mountain, but I'm going on this great, you know, fantastic long trail through some extraordinary experiences, and the only way I'm going to be able to navigate that trail and succeed in following it is to make all the good little decisions, not to be intimidated, because the trail's so arduous that I keep turning back and turning back and turning back and don't actually go anywhere. So I just wanted to put that on the record this morning, that this is kind of like my attempt to refocus myself as I go into the second moon of winter, and hopefully, well, it should take more than hope, practically I will keep myself focused in that manner.